Hello, 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 and happy Friday, guys. This is our weekly show, Startup Bytes, where we give you 5 tips in 15 minutes. So if you have not been here before, we do this every Friday. It's 5 tips, 15 minutes of things you can use right now in your business. I am Kenesha. I am the program manager for Startup Tucson, and going to introduce my friend Bjorfin.
I'm Bjorkfin. I run an online business in the music industry called Audio Issues. I help home studio musicians and bedroom producers make a bigger impact with their music by teaching them how to do it themselves, mix, record, produce, and finish their records themselves. I remember when this was just an experiment that you wanted to do, and now it's a weekly show.
It is our weekly Friday show. We give all the goods to the people so they can run their business efficiently and effectively.
Yes, I'm always into helping people by sharing what I've learned in the last 10 years of running my business. Certainly done a lot of trial and error and met more experiments than I can count.
Well, this is a great experiment. So today's tips, guys, are 5 tools you need in your business right now. So these are 5 tools in no specific order. But the first thing we're going to talk about are websites. You need a website for your business, especially in this time. So what are your suggestions, Bjorfit? And I will jump in.
So there's a lot of website tools out there: Wix, WordPress, Squarespace, Kajabi, things like that. I use a combination of WordPress on my website, and then my product management system and my customers, my customer learning system is all through Kajabi, which also has email marketing there. But I would recommend finding something that is in your price point. Wix is super affordable. WordPress is free. You just need to know a little more about putting it together, which can be pretty frustrating. But they have some really good front end designing tools like Elementor or Thrive Architect that help you create the website from the front end, so you don't have to learn any coding. So I'd recommend that. And then if you're doing any sort of e-commerce or creating courses, downloadable PDFs, want to create a community or anything like that, Kajabi is a good tool. It's not not inexpensive, but it is worth it. And then other tools are like Sendowl or Thinkific or Teachable. They're great sort of content management tools.
Yeah, I think Thinkific is a great one. I use that one as well. That's a drag and drop, just like Wix would be or Squarespace would be. If you have no coding knowledge or know nothing about how to build a website, please do not put yourself into WordPress, because that will send you down a hole and you'll never want to build your website. Yeah. So really think about Kajabi, think about Wix, think about Squarespace. And those are going to be the ones that you can probably build it within a weekend and launch that on Monday. But you need a website in your business, especially now. And if you are selling a product, meaning clothes or candles or lotion or something like that, you may want to look at Shopify or WooCommerce that you can build into something to make sure you have that up front. And again, those are drag and drop. Wix does the same thing.
Yeah. Always just look at your website as the hub of your activities. So like what you do on social media, over here on Instagram and over here on LinkedIn or whatever, those are the spokes. Your hub is your website. That's where you should always try to lead everyone, because that's where you have control. You can design your website so that there's a specific user interface in mind. You have ultimate control over what's on your website and what happens to the traffic on that. But when you create Facebook pages and you're relying too much on social media pages, you don't really have any control over what Facebook ends up doing. Maybe they'll shut you down, or maybe they'll change the algorithm or things like that. So always make sure you have a website to lead people to.
Perfect. Our next tip going along with the website is keywords and analytics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I use Google Analytics just to, it helps me understand the flow of my website and where my audience is going. It helps me understand what pages on the website are the most popular, where do people go, where am I found the most when people are Googling, because I get found for a lot of different keywords and a lot of different terms. So it helps me understand what are my most valuable pages and how should I optimize them to get more subscribers or more sales and things of that nature. Recently, my goal this year is to grow my YouTube channel. I've grown all sorts of other things, and this time I'm gonna try for 10,000 subscribers by July. So that's my goal. And one way I'm trying to strategize the YouTube strategy is to find the high performing posts that get thousands of views every month, and then create video versions of that post and post that on YouTube, and then edit that post and add that video to that post, so that everybody that's already coming to that website or to that blog post from just Google traffic, they will be able to see that I have a YouTube video and I have a YouTube channel and those sorts of things. So it's my hope that that's gonna sort of tie together and hopefully get me some additional subscribers that I wouldn't otherwise be able to.
Oh, that's amazing, because you're able to pull out those keywords through that. So guys, make sure you're using Google Keyword and Google Analytics. They kind of work hand in hand. Do some research on how to use keyword, but you're going to pull out the keywords that are in your website, or before you build that website, figure out the keywords you need to put on the website, so then you're pulling the traffic that you want to pull through.
Yeah, for YouTube especially, actually, just to add in, this might be for social too, but TubeBuddy is a really good keyword tool for YouTube in particular. So if you're trying to if you want to start and grow a YouTube channel, TubeBuddy, even the free tier, I pay for it monthly now because it's so valuable, but even the free tier will tell you a lot of things that you would otherwise gloss over, and it helps you optimize your video so that you get found for the terms that you're trying to be found for.
Perfect. We are now streaming to YouTube, so that's exciting too.
Awesome.
We're going global, Bjorfin. We're going global. Our next tip is about project management. Project management, especially now where we're working remote and all over the place, we want to make sure we have a place where we can really manage what we have going on. So my number one top tool, and it's what we use at Startup Tucson, is Asana. We live by Asana. We're able to manage all of our projects and everything we have going on. What's the tool that you use, Bjorfin?
I predominantly use just my calendar. I use my calendar as a dumping tool. And then I know exactly what I need to do each week. But my assistant uses Trello, which is just a project management tool similar to Asana. And she manages a lot of my content contributors, my blog posts that I don't write myself, where I'm putting out all of the Instagram strategy and things like that. But I put everything on the calendar, and then sometimes I move it to the next week, and then I move it to the next week, and then I move it to the next week. But most of the time I put it on there because it's going to be in my way so much that I'll end up having to do something with it. And usually I have planning sessions where I look at the calendar and try to either defer or delete, which is basically a Paul Allen getting things done. It's the GTD system, which is you either do it now, you delegate it, or defer it to later, or you delete it. And sometimes I'll sit down, because I'll put story ideas for blog posts or for things like that, and I will remind myself of what the story is by writing maybe a sentence or two, and then I'll sit down and I will take that sentence and I'll put it into an Evernote document, and then I will write like a draft, or I'll expand on that thought until it's time to write a longer article.
Yeah, we use Asana. Trello's a good one, guys. Your calendar is always a good one, but you can hook Trello and Asana to your calendar, and that'll all push to your calendar, so you have a place to bank everything, and everything's in one place. Trello and Asana pretty much work hand in hand the same way. So whatever you like, just find something that you're going to stick with and be consistent to make sure that you are getting your tasks done by a certain time. That brings us to tip number 4, which is social. Social tools that you use right now.
I use Later. Well, it's a combination of I use it and or the organization uses it. For instance, Kate, who is my assistant, she uses Later for Instagram posting, so she can schedule Instagram posts to go live when we want them to put live, so she doesn't have to, hit publish at 8 p.m. because that's supposedly the best time for my audience or whatnot. She can just schedule that to go out. So Later for Instagram. I use Recur Post for Facebook because I have a giant category of just all of my about 150 of my most popular blog posts, and then Recur Post will take at random one of those blog posts and post them to Facebook, so that there's always some activity on my Facebook page, even though I might not be doing it.
Well, other tools for social, and I haven't used Later in forever, but it still holds up.
Yeah.
Through all the years it's been out, it still holds up. So Later is a great one. Planoly is another one to post to Instagram, and you can plan out your blocks and make it all pretty. Hootsuite, Buffer, and then Facebook Scheduler is your friend. If you're not using it and you don't want to use any of the outside tools, use Facebook Scheduler so you can schedule out your posts and then schedule them for whenever you want them to go out. But make sure you're being consistent in that social media and use some kind of tool if you don't have time for it.
Yeah.
Our tip number 5, email marketing. Let's get into that one.
Where to start? So my email marketing system is very complex. Well, there's email capture, which is then the lead pages or the landing pages that you create, so that have like one call to action for you to sign up to the email list in exchange for a freebie of some sort. That is one software. I use Lead Pages. I also use Kajabi Pages, and I think and then the email capture signups forms are also hard coded into my website. So I'm getting about 150 organic subscribers a day now, and they're coming from all over, both from paid ads and from landing pages and from just the website in general. So that's one part of the program, or one part of the process. And then there's the email marketing software itself, which is I use Aweber and Kajabi, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend Aweber other than just I've been there for so long. I'm sort of locked in. I have so many emails that have their own specific funnels and sequences and lists. So it would take me too long to move, and it's not that big of a deal for me. So, but you do need an email marketing system of some sort, or software of some sort. So Aweber, MailChimp, Constant Contact, Active Campaign, they're very similar. MailChimp, they're often, I don't know if I said that one, but they're very similar in features and most of the time in pricing as well. So that's necessary because you want to be able to email everyone on your list at once, or segment your list based on their behavior, adding tags and stuff like that. You don't want to be emailing a ton of people straight from your Gmail account, because that's like the surest way to get your Gmail just flagged and locked down. So you need that. And then, so those are the two things that sort of go together. And then from the emails that I write, that connects to, a sales page or a call to action to do something else, or to join me on a call like this, or go to a blog post or a video, or things like that. So email marketing software, definitely the sort of the beating heart of the business, because if it wasn't for that and my automated sequences, I would be very poor.
So email marketing, guys, email marketing software are just, if you're emailing to a list, however you want to look at it, look at MailChimp, ConvertKit. What was the other ones?
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. ConvertKit's pretty good too. There's ActiveCampaign, Mailchimp, and then GetResponse, Constant Contacts, Aweber, and then a tool like Kajabi comes with email marketing functionality, so you can actually build your entire both email marketing and product and website system all on their platform. But
Yeah,
you
I
can
think
also
Wix
cobble
does
them together.
too.
Huh?
I think Wix has some email marketing built in it as well as Squarespace. So, do you have an extra tip for the day, a bonus tip?
Not necessarily, just that none of this really matters if you don't have the energy to actually get things done. And I was joking with you earlier that one of my most important tools is actually my chef's knife, because I cook a lot. I make sure your boss is fed. And so that's and having eating healthy and being active and having energy is obviously a very, very important thing. But one thing from Liz actually is especially when you're doing social graphics and websites or any sort of design, you don't have to be a graphic designer to be able to pull stuff like that off. You can use tools like Canva, like Visme, Design Bold. Canva is probably the most popular because their free tier is so great. And if you need stock photos that you don't have to pay for, Pixabay and Unsplash are really good options too. So bunch of extra tips there.
Yes. So just to recap, website, make sure you have a website. It is so important. It's the front door of your business. Number 2, keywords and analytics, Google keywords, Google Analytics. Make sure you do your research and grab those so you can use them on your website. Number 3 is project management tools, Asana, Google Calendar, and Trello. Number 4 was social platforms. You have Planoly, Later, Buffer, Hootsuite, Facebook Scheduler. Make sure you're using something to keep consistent. And number 5 was email marketing. And there was a lot of that, but MailChimp, ConvertKit, Constant Contact, Kajabi, ActiveCampaign. Thank you, Liz, for the notes. And then make sure, guys, that you guys are just being consistent in whatever you're doing. For graphics, also use Canva. Thank you guys for joining us. And we went a little over our 15 minutes, but I think it was worth it. We gave you guys all the tools that you need to put those in your business. Maybe use them over the weekend, use them through the week to see some growth. We will see you guys next week for episode 4. Startup Bytes with Kenesha and Bjorfin. Bye. Have a great week, guys.
See ya.